Hey everyone, I'm Xoonani. Welcome to my new video. Today I would like to invite you to another sketchbook session. I will use my Royal Talents Art Creation Mixed Media Sketchbook, Himi Gouache and Artex Colored Pencils. This will be a real-time sketchbook video, and if you like, grab your sketchbook and your favorite mediums and draw with me or paint with me while you're watching me painting. If you have no idea what to draw or paint, then do exactly what I do. I will lead you through the whole process. And if you don't want to draw or sketch, then lean back, enjoy the chill sounds and just relax. So let's do this. I have my Himi Gouache and my cleaned palette and a few brushes. I sprayed with a water bottle on my paints. I reactivated them, I think 1, 2, 3 times, I don't know. And what my experience is that the Himi Gouache get a little bit muddy in their color, a little bit darker, muddier when you reactivated them more than once. I don't know if this is only my feeling, but perhaps you made a similar experience. Then please write it in the comments. I'm very interested in how your Himi Gouache works after reactivating, or if it's like new again. What you see here is that I made a yellow blob in the middle, and first I just want to create an interesting background, and I thought about before what I want to paint. It will be a cute nature creature with mushrooms on top. It should live in a meadow full of leaves and flowers, perhaps. We will see. I chose the yellow in my Himi Gouache, a brighter blue, later a grassy green, and my, I would say Prussian blue, and kind of a lilac lavender color. As you can see, I don't care a lot about perfect shapes, and I'm very artsy and work intuitively on this page. And while I'm creating the shape of the little creature, I want to define where the mushrooms grow out of it. And I will go over again with different colors. I want to mix some nice greens with the blue I have and with the Prussian blue later. I'm only using the flat brush, and I think I won't change this. You have the possibility to paint very loose with thicker lines, and if you hold it in the other way, you can paint thinner lines. I like these flat brushes. It's good to get a lot of paint on the paper, a bit more expressionistic, a lot more loose, and mix them together on the paper. As you can see here, I'm creating the meadow a bit, and on the right, the grass will grow high. And as I told you before, there will be other layers of color which I use to define more where the mushrooms grow out and create a little bit of shadows and lights for our little creature. On this point, gouache has this thing that you have a very long, ugly face. I had to learn this. I'm not a gouache pro and I'm still learning a lot, but this is what I don't like on gouache, that there is this ugly face if you paint a loose and intuitive painting. But I like the opaqueness and the brightness of the colors and the matte finish. That's why I enjoy using gouache a lot, especially in my sketchbook, because I want to use up my Himi gouache and think about which gouache I should buy, which better one. Himi is a good gouache, don't understand me wrong. I like to work with it, but the last times, for the last painting sessions I used them, they were, a bit muddy after I reactivated them. I don't know. I told you before. As you can see, this little creature I defined it a bit more and add more color and layers to the meadow. And I don't care a lot about my dirty little paint jars. If I'm in the painting flow, I don't like it that I have to use a painting knife or something like this to get the paint out of the jar. I have to use it immediately and I have no patience to make it different. So my little jelly gouache jars are really dirty. Especially these I use most, of course. And I'm still setting my color on the paper very rough and very loose. That's what I love to do, to create a very loose background and go over again with another medium like colored pencils, or you can also use crayons or pastels or anything you love on top of a colored layer. Everything which works. I made that experience that Neocolor 2, if you want to use them again with water, are not a good idea on gouache because gouache also reactivates if you use water on top, of course. I made a video with this problem, but I haven't uploaded it yet. I will do this if you like. Now the little heads of the mushrooms. A lot of little mushrooms are growing on our little creature here. I use a blue for that. It has spring vibes. Yes, it's a very much a spring video here. There is growing a lot and there are a few flowers later. So this is the first background. Now the second one. We have a second page and we want to do a whole spread today. I'm still using my flat brush and try to get a lot of color on my paper. Here I'm trying to get a first layer of color on the whole page. That I didn't do that on the other side because I hate to paint on white paper. Okay, sometimes I do if I'm just sketching or make studies, portraits, but I prefer to work on colored backgrounds. This is only a thin layer. I tried to take not too much color because of the reactivation of gouache. And now I also want to have a little bit of grass. In my mind there's another creature which has like flowery hair, like a little blossom tree. But first I will define where is what with my colors. I'm using the same color scheme like on the other page because I want to have a good looking spread in the end. This time the creature is a blue little one, and it grows out this meadow, and it has roots. And again, I'm painting very loose. I don't care if there is a wrong brush stroke here and there, because there are no wrong brush strokes. Now it looks kind of punky. And if you know my channel and if you know my art a bit more, then you perhaps recognize that I love to paint with negative space, that everything is coming out if you make the background dark and let the brights come out with that. Today I'm working without script. I just telling you what I see while I'm watching this video I made from the painting. I hope that's okay, and I hope my English isn't too bad. On this point, I realized that there's something missing, a color, another color. You have this range of yellows, blues and greens. I used a bit of orange in the right one, but for the flowers, so I decided to use a bit of lilac, a very bright and nice and pastel-y violet for the flowers in the left. I'm just dipping my brush on the paper, dip, 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 as you can see, for the flowers, for the blossoms. I'm still very loose. I want them to overlap a bit over the meadow. And now I felt that also this color is missing on the other side, and the mushrooms aren't defined enough for me. So I picked that color also for the right page. Here you can see my palette, my mixing palette. I used this, I would say, very light cobalt, the lilac, the Prussian blue is the dark one, yellow, this grassy green, a bit of white, and that's all. Oh no, orange, a bit of bright orange. And now here we are, and take the lilac for the right page and paint the little heads of the mushrooms in this nice color, and mix a little violet also for the ground in the meadow. I'm sorry that my cam didn't record this. It stopped and I didn't recognize it. Now the left one seemed a little bit too, boring, and I used the orange to make a few highlights here and there in the flowers for where the bees get their nice and sweet juice from the flowers. Again, what I'm asking myself is, why are these paints so muddy on the paper? Perhaps I mixed it wrong, but I just mixed it. I don't know. I think they were more vibrant back in the days when I bought them. But perhaps this is only a weird feeling I have about these Himi gouache. Now in the video, for me, it feels a bit more vibrant than in real, because my light is very good on this table. So that's it. I will let it dry and come later to work on top of it with my colored pencils. Again, my cam didn't record the first step, but this wasn't a lot, and you can see that I just picked ultramarine blue and make some outlines with this colored pencil on the mushrooms. What I really like is when you can see the strokes of the colored pencils in the end, and if it looks a bit rough. What I'm always doing is to get them a darker outline and then draw around this outline, and then the background gets a bit darker and the creature or what I'm painting pops out a little bit more. But while I'm watching this, I like this outlines. Perhaps I should have make a little bit less here in this one. But if I'm in my flow, I can draw and paint and go on and go on, and I'm seeing here a little thing I have to draw, and here, and then I have a full page with a lot of details in the end. But I love details, and these two little paintings will be very full of details in the end. You will see it later. These are two paintings which took me not a lot of time. I was very loose in the beginning with my underpainting, and now I don't think it has to be perfect with the colored pencils. So here you can see that I go in the darks and the shadows between the mushrooms. I create a dark area around them so they can pop out a bit. And this is like meditation. This is to paint and draw what's exactly in your comfort zone. And this part of this mixed media artwork is what I really, really love most, and where I can calm down and just let it flow, because I don't have to think a lot anymore. But the whole process, I don't think very much while I'm painting on or drawing these creatures, especially these creatures. This technique is perfect to relax and just follow your flow. For me, when I'm into my acrylic paintings, I have to think a lot more and plan a lot more. Okay, I can change it while I'm painting again and again because it's so opaque, and you can layer 100 times if you like. But I feel this is a lot easier and faster, a faster finished work in the end, which makes you happy. I tried a few different colored pencils, but they didn't work. Like this green, which lays right next to the sketchbook. I tried it a few times, you will see, but it never was the color I wanted to have. Now you can see that all the mushrooms pop out a lot, and I really like it. It already looks very cute. So let's draw eyes on this creature. Yeah, difficult decision. Here they are. And it should smile a bit. Yeah. It's time to define the body of the creature a bit more. Again, I'm using a darker pencil, a darker color for this. The ultramarine, it's darker than the background, that's what I mean. And I can draw a very light layer on top so you can see the color I used from underneath shining through, so you can mix them for a nice effect. I'm working with more pressure where the shadows has to be darker, and if I go into the background more and I want to let it fade out, then I use less pressure with this colored pencil. Now I chose a red colored pencil. Oh, this broke. Do you see that? In one of my last videos, I said that my Artex colored pencils never broke while or after sharpening them. But right now, after I said this, two of my colored pencils, this one and a violet one, broke a few times now. Okay, I have them with me very often, but yeah, the first two colored pencils, they from Artex, which broke in the time since I have them, and I worked a lot with them. It's okay, but yeah, I just wanted to tell you, they are not unbreakable. What you can see here is that I'm layering with the red on top of the ultramarine blue. I think it's a pinkish red with more blue in it, and I like to create shadows with more than one color. If you watched a few of my videos, perhaps you recognized that if I make my paintings or drawings, I always choose kind of a blue, kind of a red, and kind of a yellow. This is an automatic thing. It's my feeling, and I mix them together on the paper. Okay, here I've used an orange, and I used a lilac, I used a violet. But always, also if I make these watercolor backgrounds, I always have a bluish color. This can be a real blue or perhaps something like a violet, and a red color. This could be also a pink color, more pink, or this could be a more ochre or sepia color. It depends on how I'm feeling on this day. And the yellow can be a very sunny yellow or a pastelic and almost beige yellow, but also a greenish yellow. I very often use a greenish yellow as well. I'm still working on top of the blue background with the red and mix them together to have this reddish shine. I think to mix more colors together, also with the colored pencils in the shadows or in a drawing like this, it creates more depth, and I think it's magical what you can do with all these colors. Now I create a few shadows on the heads of the mushrooms. And if you can remember when I started with the mushrooms and the colored pencils, now they look more, they have more depth and more like corpse, not only like a two-dimensional thing. A few are in the foreground now and a few in the background, and they are a bit darker on their sticks. And now I'm using a white colored pencil for highlights. And this is a Derwent colored pencil. I'm using it because the white from the Artex ones and the polychromo one I have does not the same. It's not the same. It's not the best whites. The white it's not the white I need or I want to have. Perhaps there are more good whites. I watched a video from Fauna on Paper and she showed all her whites. Perhaps I should watch this video again to have the perfect white. I think the Caran d'Ache Luminance white would be also a great one, but when I was on my art shop where I bought a few of my first Caran d'Ache Luminance colored pencils, there were no white anymore, so I had to buy a bluish white, but it's not white enough for this drawing here. In the upgrade box from January, there were two whites. There was like a white pastel, which is not really white, and this white coal. Perhaps this white coal will make really nice white light effects. But I'm not sure if it's good to work with it in my sketchbook. I'm a little bit afraid that the white comes off when I'm flipping through this book again and again, because it's cold and it smears around. And the eyes, of course, they should be white. So now this little creature, I think it's ready now. We will draw on the background now. And here I'm trying to use this green. I like this color, but it doesn't fit in here, and I try another green and outline these heart-shaped leaves. No, I tried it, as you can see, but then I decided to use this dark gray, but no. Okay, the red again. But it was a good decision. I like contrasts. So I'm outlining again all these heart-shaped leaves. It looks so cute. Perhaps I should have left it like that. Do you understand what I mean? These outlined, very cute heart-shaped things and a bit loose background and the defined creature in the foreground. Yeah, I think this would have been enough, but I can't stop. I can't stop when I began to draw. This is one of the hardest things to stop. What do you think? Do you have a problem to stop in your drawings or paintings? Now I took the blue again and outline all these little leaves. which are violet on my background here. Most of the time I use a darker color to outline and draw around them. But sometimes, if my background is very dark, sometimes my backgrounds get very dark if I want to try out new colors. Also in this little section painting style I use a lot the last weeks. And then it can be that I'm using a brighter color than the background color, light yellow or white, so it stands out from the background, but then I'm use it as an outline, and it makes nice effects. You also can take acrylic markers in brighter colors for highlights in the end and a few nice interesting points. That is what I also do a lot. As you can see in the background, there are a few grass leaves on the right side on top, and I didn't want to cover them up. I want that they come out in the end. But I jumped right into it and was brave. Mostly it's good to be brave if you painting or drawing a picture, because even if it's not like you want in the end, you tested out something and you improve your art skills. If you always sit down and think, oh, I can't do this, and if I do this, I will ruin my drawing, then you can't improve, then you can't learn about your perhaps mistakes, and perhaps you can learn a new skill and see, wow, this was perfect. I did the right thing, and you can use it again in your drawings and paintings. This experience. I took the red colored pencil and drew around the heart-shaped leaves. So we mixed together again the red and the blue to make this misty area around them. Again, I don't think a lot when I'm in my flow. I just see a color and want to use it here and think it fits perfect here. But I also make the same thing again and again, like these shadows around the shapes, then the leaves like here pop more out. And if you look at the left picture now, in comprehension to the right one, you can see that even if you make a very loose underpainting and don't define a lot, okay, I defined a few things, that's right, but I let it very loose, and it looks not like a perfect painting, not like a perfect underpainting. You can create a lot of things, a lot of details with your second medium, with your colored pencils. For example, you also can use markers or crayons or what you have there, what you want to use, and define your details with them. And it makes such a difference. You build up your painting from the very first layer, which looks really, really crabby. You also can make the first layer in one color and go on top and on top and on top with the next layers. And in the end, you have a very cute, very nice painting, drawing. I don't know, how is it called? Please write in the comments if you know how this would be called, if you have a mixed media painting or a drawing. I do both. I draw and paint, and and in my Instagram posts I never know what I can make the hashtags. Do I have to make the hashtag painting or drawing because I used colored pencils? I think this is a mysterious thing to know. I don't know. But perhaps there's a rule for that and I don't know it. And perhaps it's also the language which makes me a bit unsure about this thing. Oh, I'm waffling so much. I'm waffling a lot. I'm sorry. I hope this is okay. Here you can see it's time for the grass leaves, for the bigger, higher, longer leaves in the background. And with more pressure, with my colored pencils, I define them more in the background. So you can see they grow out of the ground on the side. When I wanted to do this real-time video, I wasn't sure if I can talk to you 2 hours. Not really. We have 1 hour done from this video, and there were a few parts with only music. And I recognize this will be a crazy thing to edit my audio in this video. But it's okay. It's okay. I wanted to try this out. If you like this real-time video, please write in the comments if you enjoyed it and if you want to have it again. Because everything is so full of details now, I decided to make a few more of these grass leaves. And now I'm almost finished, I think, with this painting or drawing or painting drawing. And I really like how it came out. It's so cute. Perhaps I should scan it for later to make a print out of it someday. I really love to work in my sketchbook right now. Sometimes I think like, oh, you have to work on your cool papers you bought. Why you bought these papers, and then you have the possibility to sell an original painting. And then I'm doing this and I store it in my cupboard. And then I think about perhaps it's better to wait a moment. Here I want to highlight this, the leaves a bit. And I decided to use this brighter turquoise, only a little highlight on each leaf that they pop more out and that they have a second color inside. It's only one stroke on one side on every leaf. It's not the whole leaf I'm drawing over. So you can see this gives the whole painting or drawing a bit of a more lightful contrast. So I think I decided that it's ready now. Not yet. Here are the very dark, it's an indigo, the indigo pencil in the very darks to create a bit more contrast. I love contrasts on the eyes, of course, and under the heads of the mushrooms where the shadow is normally, to give them all a little shadow. Very loose, not too perfect. It don't has to be too perfect. That's what I'm saying. I can't stop. It's finished. It's finished. It was finished 10 minutes ago, but I'm still working on it. It's okay, Babs. It's okay. Let it go. It's finished. Okay, and there's my white jelly pen, and I will paint the eyes a bit more white, that they pop more out. I love to have these very white eyes in these creatures. So, that's it. Now we will paint the next one. Oh, it's so cute. I really like how it came out. I hope the next one will be as good as the last one. So I'm using the same blue like on the right page because I want the same color scheme for both pages so that they fit perfect together next to each other, and go in the shadows from the roots. I really enjoy painting roots. This is a thing which I really paint a lot and draw a lot. A friend told me from a person which don't know me and my art, and she saw my art on Instagram, I think, and she said that she mentioned that in my art, the thing which is always there are roots. I'm drawing a lot of roots. And that's right. Roots and mushrooms, plants, a lot of organic stuff. I love nature and all what grows on our planet. And I love all these little creatures which live in there. You know, I like bugs. I think the tiniest one, the tiniest living on this planet, it's so interesting. You never see them in your normal lives. You see the birds flying around, and I also love birds. And you see the cats sneaking around and the dogs and all the other animals in nature, if you are in the woods or if you live somewhere where more animals live, like monkeys or bigger animals. Here in Germany we don't have crazy exotic animals. We have the deer and the wild pigs and stuff like that, and animals like that, wild animals, and a lot of cute furry ones, but you can see them very often, like foxes or I don't know the name, but I really like the very small creatures which you can see on the first peak. Perhaps so tiny that you can't see it with your eye without some help. And here now I'm defining all the branches and shadows between. it's time for the flowers, for the blossoms, and I will use again the red I'm used in the other page, and I'm going around the individual blossoms in a very easy shape. I outline them all. I'm not sure if I should cut them. I should cut this video a bit, that it's a bit faster, but if you want to draw with me in real time, then it's a bad idea to fasten it in any way, because you have to draw the same in your time, and perhaps it's too fast then. That's why I'm leaving this video like that. That's really real time. Oh yes, I like this. I like these little blossoms on the branches. Now it's time to give all the leaves a shape on the ground. It's a meadow or it's some area in the wood where a lot of things grow. I will also outline the orange dots. Later I will use the red colored pencil for this. And again, I will draw all the shadows in between the leaves to let them pop a bit more. Now the rest of the branches on top of our tree creature. And the face. Where should the eyes be? High eyes, low eyes. Everything's very cute. I choose kind of the middle. And also draw a few shadows around. And this one should sing, perhaps it should sing we have one which smiles, and this is saying something. I don't know, it's singing something, it's saying something. perhaps the song of spring, because spring is coming and I can't wait that the sun shines every day a bit more and it's a bit more warmer. I'm not a winter person, I have to say. It's nice when the fall gets into winter and we can enjoy our warm tea and cuddle into our blankets and all this. This is nice. This is nice for a while, perhaps until Christmas, and then it gets too long. In January, I don't want the winter anymore in January and February. This is the hardest month, I think, where no one wants the winter anymore, because the spring is so near. It's almost here. And now it's the end of February where I'm recording this. The birds are singing again in the mornings and in the evenings. The light, the sun is longer here now. I don't know where you live on this planet. Perhaps it's different where you live and you had your summer in the last months and now there comes the winter. But if you live in the same time zone, on the same side on the planet like me, then perhaps you also can't wait for the spring and looking forward for all this colorful flowers, the singing birds, the bumblebees and bees flying around and make their sounds. This is relaxing and this is so nice, and I love the spring. I think the spring is my favorite season because everything's coming to life again and everything wakes up out of the long winter sleep. It's like a deep breath with a lot of joy and happiness. Yes, I love spring. And now I'm drawing all the backgrounds behind the little blossoms. And what I didn't say before I used my Derwent, my white colored pencil again, and went in all the and draw in all the roots and branches with it to lighten them up a bit, and then they pop more out. That's a thing I mostly do in the end with my white highlighter. So now the flowers, the blossoms pop out a little bit more like before. I remember I didn't like the less contrast we have here, the little contrast we have here, and I tried to Now I'm trying to find a good color, a good light color to highlight a few of the blossoms, but I couldn't find a good one. So that what I used is again my white colored pencil, and it worked a bit, but not like I wished it would. Perhaps I had to use white gouache instead and highlight some blossoms with my white gouache, but I didn't do that. You can do that if you want. We have not enough contrasts, and that's what I don't like. But now I picked the orange colored pencil and went over with all the dots again. And this is very nice. I like it really because it gives this more variety in the colors. And I can't believe we are almost finished here. I have to say thank you so much for watching this very long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please put a little flower in the comments if you're still here and still watching with me and still hanging around with me. I really appreciate you so much, and I'm so happy and thankful for all of you. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you haven't already. This will make me really happy. And here you can see I'm using the orange for the roots to create a little shadow with the orange, and it fits very, very perfect in here, and I really like this decision. Please write in the comments which painting you like more, the little mushroom creature or the tree, the blossom tree creature. And if you like this long real-time video, and why, and if you liked that I waffled and talked so much, or if it would be better to just have the music in the background, or perhaps rain sounds or fireplace sounds. This would be also very nice. The reason why I decided to do this is because I'm also enjoying it to watch long painting and drawing videos while I'm painting or drawing as a background video. I'm always creating alone. The most of the time I'm painting and creating alone, and it's good to have a bit of background voice from another person who is talking, a bit of sounds. And I'm very interested in how other artists work with their supplies, how they use their supplies. There are a lot of tutorials in the World Wide Web and on YouTube, but it's another thing to watch how they really use these supplies, because everybody uses them a bit different, I think. And this brings a lot of inspiration and new ideas. Yeah, okay. I hope you enjoyed this long video. Thank you so much for hanging around with me. And now, if you are still here, you can see the close-ups of these two little artworks I created. And have an awesome day or night wherever you are on this planet. Have a good sleep. I hope you could relax while watching this. Have a good time. Yours, Xoonani.